A lot of people say switching from console to PC is just way too expensive. And I get it, dropping a stack of cash on a PC sounds scary, but what if I told you you don't actually need a full-blown PC to escape the console life? There are a bunch of ways to game these days, and honestly, console gaming might actually be the most expensive route in the long run. Sure, the upfront cost of a PC can be high, but it's probably not as bad as you think. So in this video, we're going to be talking about ditching console gaming and those lovely monthly subscription fees, compare some long-term costs, and explore some alternative ways to game that won't leave your wallet crying. First off, let's say you're already planning to drop some money on a new console. A PS5 or Xbox Series X is about $500, right? Cool. But now add a couple games. Then toss in the subscription service you'll probably need just to play online, and don't forget the second controller that you'll panic to when the batteries run out mid-game. Suddenly, you're looking at closer to $1,000 rather than $500. Now imagine if you just took that same money and put it towards a PC. In that $500 to $1,000 range, you can definitely find a solid PC that runs most modern games just fine. You just need to do a bit of research to know what to look for. Don't just grab that first RGB lit box you see on Amazon. If you go in blind, yeah, you might waste some of your money. But if you take the time to learn what fits your gaming needs, you can build or buy a system that'll do the job and save you some money in the long run. If you've already picked up a next-gen console, the switch to PC can be a bit trickier because you've already invested in one ecosystem. Sell the console, sell the games, assuming you're one of those rare people that actually have physical copies now, and maybe throw in any extra accessories that you don't need. The resale value is still decent right now, especially before the next generation of consoles gets announced or drops. You could also try to sell your older console, unless you're trying to live the nostalgic life like so many of us seem to be these days. Once you make the switch to PC, you're pretty much done with mandatory subscriptions. That alone saves you a good chunk of money over time. Steam sales are constant, and there are always other ways to play games if you know where to look. PCs have over 100,000 games, and consoles only have a few thousand at a time. Consoles basically have a monopoly over their markets, and PCs have multiple launchers, which means you're going to get cheaper games on PC anyways. This is probably a big reason why Steam always has games on sale, so you're getting your games cheaper than you would on console as well. If you're not ready for the full transition to PC, or you only have around enough to buy the latest console, there's still somewhere else to look. That brings us to the Steam Deck. Think of it as a handheld gaming PC, because that is essentially what it is. It costs about the same as a new console, so if you're about to grab a PS5 or Xbox anyways, this is a great alternative. There are other handheld options out there, but the Steam Deck is the one mentioned the most in my comment section, so we'll stick with that for now. What's so great about the system is that the games you buy on it can transfer straight to your PC later on, as well as your saved data. So it's a great stepping stone if you're thinking about going to full PC later, but aren't quite there yet. There's no subscription fees, access to a full Steam library, and you can still voice chat with your friends using Discord or Steam, just like on a PC. Sure, the graphics might not be as great as a PS5 or Xbox, but it's a small trade-off for a ton of flexibility. You may be thinking, how much am I actually saving here? It all depends on how you go about it. In one of my recent videos, I did a price breakdown for the general expenses of getting a new console. This factored in the console, an additional controller, a few games, and the subscription costs, all the things I mentioned earlier. At the cheapest possible option, it was around $600, and the highest end was around $1,100. If you exclude the Nintendo Switch from this equation, then the cheapest possible route to take is around $700. Then afterwards, the subscriptions continue to make you pay around $8 to $20 a month until the end of time. Now on the other hand, a PC's price is dependent on what you need for your desired games. Like I mentioned earlier, if you really look into it, you could probably get a capable enough PC within the range of $500 to $1,000. After that, it's mouse and keyboard and you're good to go. There are no recurring expenses to play your games online, so you can start saving anywhere from $75 to $240 a year. It depends on which subscription plan you were paying for. So by the time the even newer consoles come out, you would theoretically have saved up enough money just to be able to upgrade your PC if you wanted to. You'd also be saving yourself the expense of that brand new console. Of course, Game Pass is also offered on PC if you happen to start missing that subscription at all. Then if you're looking at the in-between option, the Steam Deck's expenses are simply just a Steam Deck and maybe a microSD card. Depending on which version you choose, this could be as low as $400, with the microSD card costing you around $60 to $80 for a terabyte of storage. You could spend a bit more money on a controller and a docking station, but those aren't required. So through all that, hopefully you can see how you'd be saving money in the long run by converting to PC. If you're tired of being locked into a system of pricey subscriptions, expensive games, and limited options, it's probably time to start looking at alternatives. PC gaming doesn't have to be this unreachable, overpriced thing. It's more accessible than ever, especially with options like the Steam Deck. And who knows, you might just end up wondering why you didn't make the switch sooner. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments, and I hope to see you on the next one.